Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the SmallRig RHINOCEROS cage, which fits the Sony A7R V, Sony A7S III, and Sony A7 IV. It fits all those cameras through some mounting options that are adjustable, which I'll show later in the video. Today I just want to show you kind of just how it fits the camera, what kind of accessories you can use with it. I've had this cage for a little over a year, and I have a few of them for my A7S III and my A7R V. And it's been one of the best cages I've ever used. So the reason I like it so much is that, see right here, I got my A7R V with a nice green skin on it. And you just kind of, the camera goes in from the back and it kind of wraps around the grip and the top of the camera. But what's so great about some of the SmallRig cages they've been doing for a long time is they have 3 points of harness to the camera. So it kind of prevents this wobbling on some cameras when it's only affixed from the bottom. So this one, you got the standard thread that goes into the bottom, the tripod plate. And then here we got a second mounting point, which goes into the camera's sort of built-in mounting points that are kind of on the camera already. And then on the third one over here, it goes into the eyelet, which is used for the straps, the camera straps. And I'll show you in a little bit once I get those all in. You can see how they look. But those 3 mounting points really make it solid. So let me just put this on real quick and then we'll take another look. Alright, so I got the cage installed on my Sony A7R V. It'll be kind of the same install process on the Sony A7 IV and A7S III. The only difference is that this piece right here can rotate 360. So on one side it says A7R V, and the other side says 4 and S3. And basically you'd flip this around and it will line it up with this keyhole here for the straps of the camera body. And that's the only difference really. And then beyond, for all 3 cameras, it's the same mounting here with this little eyelet up inside there that mounts it to the grip of the camera. And then same with the bottom thread. And so yeah, that's 3 points of contact. And like I said, it's really awesome because it really keeps the camera from, there's absolutely no wiggle. Like this cage is basically built to the camera. It is incredibly solid. Never had any issues with it wiggling like some past cages way back. And one of my favorite, this is one of my favorite cages I've ever used, and one of my favorite SmallRig cages I've ever used for 2 main reasons. The first one is that it improves the grip significantly. So it makes the grip wider and longer and just thicker. So when you're gripping it, it feels more confident. It fills your hand more. Also, since it's longer, the little bit extension here, it gives your pinky your place to rest. Because on the Sony cameras, it seems that the grip is a little short. So sometimes when you're shooting, your pinky will be sliding off the grip. But this extends that a little bit, so it's much more comfortable, in my opinion at least. And that's one of my why I really actually just love putting cages. I'm a photo video hybrid, do 50-50 full time. And for photography, this is like such an improvement of ergonomics beyond what it adds just for rigging for video. And then the second reason I love these cages so much, especially this RHINOCEROS cage, is because of this being all open. On some of the other cages for Sony cameras, there's this bar here is over here as well, and it kind of goes over the dials and over the buttons. What's awesome about this one is that it kind of dips down underneath the grip and leaves all of this open. So when you're using it top down for video, your thumbs can go like this and you're not obstructed. And for photo too, the dial, it's all open here, which is, as far as I've seen, is extremely rare for cages on these cameras to not have a bar going over like that. I think that's like the #1 thing that makes this cage exceptionally more worth the extra money that it is from just the standard cages that cover more of the controls. And also, it has more of a carbon fiber type design, composite, titanium type design, which is super lightweight and adds almost no weight to the camera. It adds ergonomics and functionality, but the weight difference is literally nothing. I haven't noticed a difference in weight whatsoever. So yeah, that's why I love this cage so much. I've been using it for a few years with all my cameras, and I love this cage. So now let's get into a few of the accessories that you can attach and rig out this, what this is capable for rigging out in video. Alright, so the first accessory is side handle. What's really cool about this cage is that it has a NATO rail built into the cage itself. So it does have the standard mounts if you want to, say, do a side handle that utilizes these types of screws, just the standard 2 screws. But if you want something a little bit quicker, a little bit more convenient, you can buy a NATO rail handle. And what's cool is that you can do either or. Like, so this one, you can see the NATO rail is built right into the side of the camera. Basically, it slides right onto that rail. You can tighten it with this. And you see how easy that is. It's built right into the rail of the camera, which is super awesome for time saving and just being ready to go right off the bat shooting photos. You just want to put a handle on. Bam, it's done. It's super easy, super convenient. I love having the NATO rail built in on the side there. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a NATO rail on the top of the camera, but you can buy some of the SmallRig top handles. This is the Hawk Lock system from SmallRig, which is a quick locking system for all their SmallRig cages and just really any cage. But because there is no NATO rail on top, you do need to, pretty cool, all the tools to adjust all these are built into the accessories. So this is the Hawk Lock handle. So you see, you can just see how quick that was. You just basically just keep that NATO rail on there for photo. And then when it comes to doing video, you just press that button in and slide it on. Oh, kind of messed that up. Yeah, it's really easy. Just slide it on. It locks on like that. Bam. Super solid. It's just one press of a button. It slides right on and off. And this Hawk Lock system's pretty awesome. I do have a Hawk Lock cage for Sony A1. There'll be a video on the channel for that one as well pretty soon. But yeah, you can see like how easy that is once you got two NATO rail systems. You can basically get everything mounted on here in under 5 minutes, which is super, super handy for showing up on site at a location, not having a lot of time to set up your camera. Or if you're running gunning and you need to rip something off really quick, it's just bam, and then bam, back to photo. This is super cool. The modularity of these cages is pretty exceptional. That's why I keep it on basically all day, every day, from when I buy the camera to sell the camera, because it is so invaluable to be able to switch from photo to video, or say I want a handle, I don't want a handle. It's really versatile. And SmallRig sells a lot of different handles and side handles, quite a few actually, like tens of them. But here's another option, that if you don't want to get the Hawk Lock NATO rail system for the top, you can always buy one of these ones, which just has the RE contact pins to prevent it from swiveling. And this natively goes straight in. So if you buy one of these on Amazon, I'll show you the port here so you can find them. I'll also have all these linked in the description so you can find them pretty easily. You see that one there? That one natively screws onto the cage. It's pretty quick. Not as quick quite as the Hawk Lock system, but still pretty fast. And then the tool is also built into these handles, so you can tighten the from the handle. You don't have to have a tool with you, which is pretty awesome. You can see here I have one of the SmallRig monitor attachments, and then just a monitor on top. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Put the handle back on. Yeah, you can see you're really starting to build it out now. You have a monitor, you have some extra cold shoes for some microphones, cold shoe for a microphone there. Tools built into the whole thing. So you have 3 cold shoes added here, which is awesome for microphones, whether they're the directional or some Rode wireless mics for like running gun type interviews. Really, it's pretty much endless what you can do with these. And that's why I just love SmallRig stuff so much. And like I said, all this stuff will be in the description, Amazon links, if you're interested in picking any of these up. And the last piece I kind of want to check out is, this is pretty cool. This is a SmallRig. It's a V-mount battery adapter. Basically allows you to mount a battery on the back and have power for the camera, for your monitor, all from one battery. So it's just a quick swap out. But one of the additional things that's just super cool about this cage is that it has the Arca Swiss plate built into the bottom here. And it natively works with the DJI RS2s. See, it says right on the bottom here, for DJI RS2 and RSC2. But also works, I have an RS3 Pro DJI gimbal. It works flawlessly with that. So this NATO rail slides right onto the gimbal like that. And you don't even need to use the gimbal's mounting plate. It's like so awesome because you can just rip the camera right off the gimbal, and you don't have to fiddle with plates or mounting tensions or plates loosening. It's like all built into the cage. So basically you have a tripod plate on your camera at all times, which is, in my opinion, is pretty invaluable. And as you can see here, if it's like, hey, you want some extra power, you can basically just throw this accessory on, and you see that slides onto the bottom there, onto this built-in Swiss plate, and that's how it slides onto the DJI gimbals too. But this uses the same mount. You tighten that, and you can see now you have basically a little pack. You can put a V-mount battery. I have the one for the Sony MP batteries here because that's what I have the most of. And you can basically power your camera and do another power here up into your monitor. It's a one battery solution. I'm going to do a video on this on the channel, just a quick overview for more of its features, but I absolutely love this product because you see how you can expand it like that if you want room for the monitor. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm just going to take this off so you can just see how that works one more time. You can see that just slides right off. So all that's modular, all of it's sliding. The sliding rails here, NATO, and you can put the NATO with the hot click system on the top as well. And this has been so great. I mean, just showing up to gigs and shooting photo, and then just being able to rig out my camera with a pretty substantial video rig in under 5 minutes has been just awesome. Like, this cage is incredible, and I really can't recommend it enough. I think it's one of the best cages for the Sony system and the best cage SmallRig has ever made. It's about $30 or $40 more than their standard cages, but for the weight reduction and the increased accessibility on the top here, along with the built-in Swiss plate and all that good stuff, I think that it's totally worth it, hands down. So if you liked any of the products here, handles, top handles, V-mount battery plate, or the monitor, or this handle, all this stuff's going to be in the description, so it's super easy to find if you want to pick one up for yourself. But yeah, if you have an A7R4, an A7R V, an A7IV, or an A7S3, this cage is definitely the one to get. I actually have one on the camera that's recording this, my A7S3. I love it. It's been a workhorse for the last year and a half, and I can't recommend these cages enough. So yeah, that's been a general overview. Just leave any questions in the comments if you have any about compatibility of handles or parts that you want to know about. But besides that, it's a great cage, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.